we know that that higher prices are having a real effect on people's lives. We get that, and we are incredibly focused on doing everything that we can to make sure that the economy is working for every American people. But we are coming out of the strongest job market in American history.
Right. Name me one way Biden's economy is better than Trump's. I'll wait. I mean, that was White House Press Secretary Jean-Pierre trying to spin this Biden economic crisis. I mean, literally the day the market tanked below the level where it was when he got into office. Today, the Dow dropped 876 points, folks. The NASDAQ dropped almost 5%. I'm laughing not because it's funny, because it's my 401k tanking too, but the S&P is officially in bear market territory. It's not just the markets. CNN had to admit today that inflation is at the highest level in 40 years. So instead of dealing with the economy, Joe Biden was busy signing the Commission to Study the Potential Creation of a National Museum of Asian, Pacific American History and Culture Act. Yes, that word salad. I think all Americans, regardless of ethnicity, would be more interested in affordable food and gas prices than a stupid museum. I don't want to speak about this anymore. For more on this, though, we're joined by Hillary Fordwich. She's a global business analyst. Hillary, thank you for your time on this.
Pleasure, Carl.
Okay, let's just go ahead and start with the top of this dumpster fire, which is the fact that the markets that, by the way, in the beginning of Joe Biden's presidency, bragged about how they're breaking records, they're the highest ever, and the market means everything. It didn't mean anything when Trump had it, breaking records, but it means everything when Joe Biden. Now it's worse off than when he took office. What say you?
Well, given you had your former guest and he was talking about the things that the Republicans really don't do well, I think it's that mass media isn't on our side. And they have the mass media basically supporting all these mixed messages. So some of the things are that Biden shouldn't do. He's playing the blame game. He should stop playing the blame game. He should stop being so
Start drilling for oil.
Exactly. Stop being so indignant about inflation. And also, he should stop being nasty. He was in LA, Carl, on Friday with those dock workers, and he was basically saying he wanted to pop one of them on the head. Don't be so nasty. Who does he think delivers everything? It's the dock workers. It's the shipping industry. Yeah. And basically, you just mentioned CNN. What about the New York Times? When the New York Times says Biden don't run in 24, when they're whispering what's going to happen, we know things are bad. So what should he do, Carl? Yeah. What he should do is stop this war on fossil fuels. Why? Because it's the gas prices, like you just had mentioned, the gas prices, they're driving absolutely everything up. And it's a regressive tax on the very population that they purport to support.
100%. Hillary, I'm in private equity during the week. I also own a couple companies of my own, including a coffee company. And the cost of coffee is up for me over 20%. The cost to ship that same bag, we're talking about a 1 pound shipping container, the same thing that cost me 2 years ago was $6 or $7, is now costing me 9, 10, 11, 12 in some places. Up 14% for meat, fish, chicken. We got, beverages are up 4%. Gas is up over 100%. Airline tickets. I'm going to Jackson Hole. I'm fortunate enough to go to Jackson Hole every year. I paid $980 for those tickets 9 months ago for each, $980 each. Now, $3,800 for the same ticket, each one. It's insane. What are, do you think that Americans are finally going to be like, wow, actually, I probably shouldn't have voted for that guy?
Well, yes. And if I just might say, when you talked about those airfares, something that's rather interesting was talking with somebody who is former Air Force. And remember this, where did this all come from? We have this pilot shortage. It's projected to last for about another 6 years. You know why? Because we don't have the pipeline of pilots. Why? Because Obama started drawing down, when he was drawing down the military, drawing down also from the Air Force, we don't have that pipeline of pilots coming in. So, Carl, that's not going away anytime soon. Now to your question. With regard to the economy and with regard to the average American, you know who doesn't notice this? All the things you just mentioned. You know who doesn't know about that and doesn't notice?
Joe.
Members of Congress. You think they're pumping their own gas like you do and I do? No, they're not. So this has the biggest impact, yes, on the poor, on the very demographic they purport to support. They're the people that are pumping gas. So what does it mean? I think it means in November, the average American that unfortunately doesn't watch this show, doesn't watch anything political, doesn't really care. They know the price of gas, they know the price of groceries, and they can see the cost of living around them. Let's hope they realize who's in charge and who they need to get out.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you bring up the price of gas and Congress not knowing. If you Google the most expensive gas station in America, it is not in California. It is across the street from the Capitol complex because they don't look at the price tag because it's taxpayer dollars. All right.
The driver's filling it up. They don't even touch it.
Exactly. Hillary Fordwich, everything sounds so much more sophisticated in your accent.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right. Global business analyst, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Cheerio.